Hey everybody, this is Matt Goldsman from GamersCast, and I'm here today to answer one simple thought that may be on your minds. Should you buy Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag? This game is available for Xbox 360, PlayStation 3, PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and PC. Needless to say, if you have the option to do so, you should probably go for the PS4, Xbox One, or PC version. If that's not a viable option, obviously the Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3 version are still very good, just not as pretty looking. Overall, I really like this game. It's very well done. Prior to this game, I often considered Assassin's Creed 2 my absolute undeniable favorite in the series, and with Brotherhood being like a more refined version of Assassin's Creed 2, but I didn't really want to call it my favorite per se because it just felt like a refinement of a previous game. So I used to say that Brotherhood is my I considered it the dominant game in the series, while 2 I considered it my favorite. If that makes any sense to you guys. After playing this game, I still consider 2 my favorite, but I would consider this game the dominant one, because comparing this to Assassin's Creed 2, a lot of the core mechanics really haven't changed all that much. And the reason I consider Assassin's Creed 2 my favorite still is because Assassin's Creed 1 was just a very average, very decent game, and was very repetitive, and compared to the rest of the Assassin's Creed games, it's just horrible. But then Assassin's Creed 2 came along and upended the entire series and made it what it is now. And it seems like ever since that happened, Ubisoft is afraid to really branch out past that because they have something that definitely works. But at the same time, it's sort of getting a bit old. Though Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag attempts to change a lot of this, while a lot of its downfalls are really just from the fact that they're refusing to really branch out and expand upon what they've done. The game itself is gorgeous, especially if you're playing on next gen or PC. Absolutely gorgeous. Ubisoft keeps saying the dominant version is PC, though I have been seeing some people having performance issues on PC. Not to mention, for me, this is more of a couch-type game. I like sitting back. I don't know why, but I've always considered Assassin's Creed the kind of game I want to be on a couch to play. So I got the PlayStation 4 build of it. Very good game. There's an absolute ton of content in this game to explore, lots of things to do, lots of collectibles, and it does one thing very well, and that is it has a completely open world. And you basically have this ship, the Jackdaw, and you can go anywhere you want on this ship. You can go just sail across the entire ocean, go to any island you want. It takes a little bit before it really opens up to you. Not too long, but it's still very good. The only thing I don't like is that if you want to branch away from the main story to explore, occasionally you'll have these walls that say, oh, your memory isn't synchronized enough to access the part of the memory in your brain that lets you go to this thing. If you played Assassin's Creed before, you know what I'm talking about. Those are giant white walls that stop you. And here, it just feels kind of inappropriate that they do. I mean, certain areas it makes sense, but here it just feels a little inappropriate that it's it stops you from accessing what otherwise is a completely open world. I mean, when I was at PAX East and I was at the Ubisoft booth, the promoter there was like, yeah, we wanted to make this game a combination of Assassin's Creed and Wind Waker, which I thought was a ludicrous sort of comparison at the time. But when I'm thinking about it now, Wind Waker did have those sort of walls in the beginning too. It didn't really let you deviate away from anything and go anywhere past where they wanted you to until you made it to Forest Haven. So in that respect, it's kind of similar to that, where the first couple hours you kind of stay on this almost linear path, but I can't say completely linear because there's a lot to do out at sea. There's floating crates, you can board ships. The only major complaint I really have against this game is that it's kind of easy. And when I say easy, I mean, if you played Assassin's Creed, the combat system is exactly the same, except for the fact that with your counters, you can press triangle, square, or cross, or YXA for those of you on the Xbox pad. You can push those and it'll do different things with your counters. Though personally, I just counter and push square, and it seems to work fine every time. Occasionally, you may need to break defense by pushing cross. So, in that regard, it's kind of easy. The Naval Combat, your ship is pretty overpowered. The Naval Combat is insanely fun. They refined the Naval Combat from AC3 a ton, and I absolutely love it here. The Naval Combat is probably one of the most fun things about the game. The only issue with that Naval Combat is that when you go, like I said, you're incredibly overpowered, and then of course you can bring up your wanted level by boarding a lot of ships, but it's so ridiculously easy to lower your wanted level. Either you'll pay 200 reals, to an official to get rid of it, or you can just lower your wanted level almost completely just by boarding any ship. You can also repair your ship by boarding any ship, which is a little skewed because by boarding like a level 1 or a level 6 schooner or something, you can almost completely repair your ship after it took a ton of damage. I don't know, it seems a little easily skewed. And the one thing I've never understood that Assassin's Creed hasn't really done is make a difficulty slider. I never really understood why they didn't do that, because that was their that's most people's main complaints against these games, is that it's very simple. And in this game isn't really much different, especially when you start doing upgrades and stuff. But I digress. This game, if you've enjoyed past Assassin's Creed games, you'll absolutely love this game. I'm actually tempted to 100% it, but then I realized with the missions being full sync and stuff, I realized, oh, that's kind of silly. Why would I want to do that? And probably not anymore, because I've never really understood the side objectives on main missions, because some of them just seem out of place at times. But whatever. Overall, this game has absolutely great writing, but the storytelling / progression of the story isn't the best. And it's very weird for me to say that, because usually those two go hand in hand, but here the cutscenes and the story are told very well. But okay, I mean to say the cutscenes are done very well, but the story isn't told very well. And by that I mean at times there will be like a character, you'll see him, he's sort of suddenly gone, and it's like, oh, he's back again, what happened to him, I don't know, and then it jumps all over the place. Sometimes it'll be like, oh, by the way, those bells over there, you can sabotage those alarm bells and stuff. And it's like, oh, I already did that about 40 times. And then other times it'll like ease you into something that you've already done a ton of times. In Assassin's Creed 3, I had a similar issue where after I completely beat the game, a character who was supposed to be dead suddenly came back from his grave to tell me something in a cutscene and then disappeared forever. That's the sort of thing that occasionally happens here. Not to that degree, per se, because that was hysterical when it happened, and I was so confused, but yet laughing my ass off. But it's sort of that sort of same thing. Like, the story doesn't make that much sense cohesively, but the cutscenes as individual entities are very well done. Overall, the best part about this game is probably the sea aspects. Things are actually fun to climb again, because I felt like Assassin's Creed 3, as much as I love the American Revolution and I love to go to cities that I've actually been to, like Boston and so on, I felt like it wasn't really a good locale to climb things. Here, I felt like it was a lot more fun to climb. Everything is very well done. There's a few major cities to go. Havana is a phenomenal city to explore. Other cities, you could basically have the whole Caribbean at your disposal here, and it's pretty great. Overall, not to make this video too long, but I really, really like this game. It is definitely one of my favorite Assassin's Creed games since Assassin's Creed 2, which is saying a lot, but at the same time, it's the same tropes of the series that keep holding it back from greatness. If they can just upend the combat system on the ground, at the very least, it would make the next game really good. And it makes the futures of these games look like it could go either way, honestly. But overall, I'm a fan of Assassin's Creed. I really like these games. And that's really all I have to say about this. Should you buy Assassin's Creed 4? If you're getting tired of the Assassin's Creed formula, then no. Don't do it. But if you still think that there's life left in this series and you still if you enjoyed the past few Assassin's Creed games, which I actually didn't. I thought Revelations and 3 were some of the poorest entries in the series, besides from the original Assassin's Creed, because the original Assassin's Creed was just terrible. It's always going to be the worst one in the series for me, followed by 3, then Revelations. But overall, I really like this game. If you enjoy the Assassin's Creed as a series, or if you enjoy any aspects of Assassin's Creed, you'll like this game. It's phenomenal. Sea shanties are the best things ever. I absolutely love sea shanties. And for some reason, I don't like the fact that I have to collect more sea shanties. Add that to your huge list of collectibles. There's an absolute ton of content in this game. But, yeah. Overall, if you've liked Assassin's Creed in the past, you'll love this game. That's my take on it. I have been Matt Goulsman from GamersCast. You can check out more over at GamersCast.com. I'll catch you guys next time.